Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. After spending a lot of time digging deep into the game, and thanks to all of your feedback, I've decided to pause the tier list stuff for now. Instead, I'll be focusing on ranking each class one by one. That way, we'll get a much clearer picture. Around mid-month, once I've got a solid grasp of the whole game, I'll drop a brand new tier list. The old tier list is still there if you want to check it out just for fun. And honestly, the comments under that video are super helpful if you're looking for better insights. I also want to apologize for the mistakes I made in that tier list. Hopefully, you guys will keep supporting me and giving feedback so I can make even better content about this game. If you're new to the game, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got a lot more useful and fun videos coming your way. Now for today's topic, we're ranking the tanker class, also called Defender, in Anchor Panic. From what I've seen and from what you guys pointed out, this class feels like one of the most important in the game. The problem is, there are only a handful of characters that actually belong to this class. Alright, enough talking, let's start ranking from the worst all the way up to the best. Alright, let's kick things off with the character sitting at rank 6, the weakest defender on this list, Koraz, a fire type. Koraz's role and main strengths are pretty straightforward. She's a basic defender, easy to obtain, and easy to level up. Her passive skill, Meow Shield, lets her stack up to 5 shields, and each shield gives her a 60% chance to parry an incoming attack. On top of that, her ultimate deals a bit of light area of effect AoE damage. Now, here's why she's at the bottom. Koraz's entire defensive kit relies too heavily on RNG, that 60% parry chance, and it only protects herself. She brings nothing to the team, no shields for allies, no defense buffs, and no meaningful crowd control effects. Because of that, she's only really worth using in the very early stages of the game, when you don't have access to stronger defenders yet. Next up, at rank 5, we've got Mustang, a physical type defender. She's definitely a step up from Koraz, but still falls short of being a well-rounded team-supporting defender. Mustang's standout strengths are her personal defense and speed. Her talent, Internal Boost, permanently increases her speed and, more importantly, lets her stack up to 20% damage reduction whenever she attacks. On top of that, if the enemy is slower, her block chance goes up by 30% thanks to Mach Crush. This synergy works especially well if you pair her with a turn 1 support, which many players rate pretty highly. So why is she still ranked this low? Just like Koraz, Mustang offers almost nothing to help her teammates. She's basically an iron wall, but only for herself. If your backline gets targeted, Mustang won't be able to do anything about it. On top of that, she really shines only against slower opponents, which makes her defensive value pretty situational depending on the enemy team comp. Alright, sitting at rank 4, we have the first defender on this list who can indirectly support the team, Artisan, a lightning type. First, let's talk about her sustain and control. Artisan can heal herself for 16% of her missing HP whenever she uses a skill, which lets her stay in the front line much longer. Even better, her ultimate, Prosthetic Extreme Strike, has a 45% chance to reduce the enemy's damage output, a very handy form of soft control. Here's the catch though. Artisan's defensive power plus defense heavily depends on your team comp. Her talent, Capacitor Activation, gives her plus 5% defense for every lightning ally on the team. This means if you're not running a lightning-heavy squad, Artisan will be noticeably weaker and won't reach her true potential. In short, Artisan is a solid defender who brings sustain and enemy damage control to the table. But she's not very flexible outside of lightning-focused team builds. Moving closer to the top, at rank 3, we've got Antelope, a quantum type. She's the first real shift from a self-focused defender to an amazing team support defender. Her main strength lies in her key ability, Unbreakable Barrier, which grants an energy shield to all allies. The shield's value scales with Antelope's max HP. On top of that, her talent's Stalwart Shield Formation lets allies heal when the shield expires, turning it into both protection and a healing mechanic. This is incredibly useful in long fights, but keep in mind this talent only unlocks once she passes level 60, and after that point you can't reset her anymore, so plan carefully before investing. she does have a few limitations. Antelope's shields are much stronger when paired with other quantum allies. In a quantum-based team, she boosts shield strength and healing by 40%, making her shine brightest in that setup. Ideally, you'd run her with 2 to 3 quantum characters to maximize her value. With that setup, you'll also benefit from extra team synergies, like stacking radiation on enemies and giving all quantum allies plus 10% damage and plus 4% attack. This is especially great if your main damage dealer is quantum. To sum it up, Antelope is a fantastic team support defender, especially in longer battles, since she's constantly shielding and healing your squad. Her biggest drawback is that she lacks strong self-protection, meaning she can be taken out earlier than other defenders. To cover that weakness, it's best to pair her with another defender or a solid healer. All right, coming in at rank 2 is Dione, a natural type defender. She's basically the perfect mix of team-wide defensive buffs and supportive shields. First off, her permanent defense buff is insane. Thanks to her talent, Mother Earth's Gift, all allies within a 3x3 grid gain a portion of Dione's defense, up to plus 40% for natural allies. This is a huge deal because defenders usually scale super high in defense anyway, so if you build her tanky, this buff becomes extremely valuable and massively boosts your team's survivability. Next, let's talk about her team-wide shield with healing. Similar to Antelope, Dione provides an earth shield to the entire team and heals them when the shield expires. On top of that, if you run 3 natural characters, you'll unlock even more synergy, reducing enemy resistances and boosting your whole team's damage output. So if you've got a solid natural damage dealer, pairing them with Dione is a no-brainer. In short, Dione does everything Antelope does, but with the added advantage of a hard defense buff for nearby allies. That makes her more flexible, more reliable, and an even stronger backbone for the entire squad. If you don't have the chance to get Flicker yet, then Dione is definitely the best defender you should invest in. But once you do manage to get Flicker, well, there's no debate. She's the absolute queen of defenders in this game. Here's why Flicker takes the #1 spot. 1. Immortality mechanic. Her talent, Inspiring Light, makes her survive a fatal hit once per battle, while also restoring 30% of her max HP. That means it's nearly impossible to one-shot her, and she's insanely tough to bring down. #2. Continuous team shielding. Her skill, Night Protection, grants a shield to the entire team, not just once, but at the start of every turn, up to 2 stacks. This kind of constant, reliable shielding is unmatched by any other defender in the game. And there's more. Her ultimate deals AoE damage, plus bonus quantum damage based on her max HP. Since defenders naturally stack a ton of HP, if you build her with even more HP, she can actually hit surprisingly hard while still being a brick wall. So yeah, Flicker isn't just protecting the team with nonstop shields, she's also a near immortal frontline that guarantees stability for your squad. If you're lucky enough to pull Flicker, she's absolutely worth pouring all your resources into. And that wraps up our Defender tier list. Now you know which characters are worth your investment. What do you think about this ranking? Who's your favorite Defender? And do you agree that Flicker and Dione are must-haves for any strong team comp? Of course, this list might change in the future once new operators get added to the game, so stay tuned. Drop a comment below so we can discuss it together. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on upcoming content. See you all in the next video, and happy gaming.